Alright, hey folks, Aldrin here, welcome to Wild Bush and Grit. I'm in the middle of Quebec, literally in the middle of Quebec. AU-ish area, Bay James. And I'm fishing pikes, northern pikes. So I landed here, it's beautiful, and I was thinking to myself, why do I like fishing so much? Where does that come from? And I actually had, the idea of sharing my origin story to you folks. Where I'm from, why I'm doing what I'm doing right now, and where that, yeah. So, I'm born in France, Paris, but I didn't stay long there. I grew, most of my childhood memories are in West Africa, Togo, in the city of Lomé. And I remember I always wanted to fish. I don't remember where, when, how that impulse came from, but I remember always wanting to try fishing. To have, the idea to fool a fish and actually fighting a fish on a fishing rod. And my earliest memory of fishing, I don't remember how old I was, maybe 7. I went into the yard, I cut a branch from one of the trees that we had, I shipped it into a fishing rod. I took some braided line that people used to tie up their hair in Africa. It's like black, silky braid that I use as a fishing line. And from a cardboard box, I took the staples and I shipped it into a hook, and that's it. That was my first combo. We were living in my grandfather's house, 2-story house, so I went up on the balcony, and in the yard I had a big bucket of water, and I was throwing my hook in it. No bait, no need, because there was no fish, only water in that bucket. And I remember people walking by, looking down in the bucket, looking at me up and down and up, and wondering what the hell is this guy doing. And but that was the closest thing I could do at the time to fishing. Eventually, at some point, one of our friends had a cabin by a lake Togo, and this is where I caught my first fish. I don't remember the species, but it was good eating. And yeah, so that was it. And how we came into Canada, well, that's a whole story. But this was mid-80 in Africa, right? Around 1985. And there was a lot of civil unrest. The government was dictatorship. And I mean, true dictatorship, okay? Not what people think Canada is today. When people say, oh, Canada is now under a dictatorship, it's like, no, it's not. I'm talking about people being murdered, people disappearing, people being tortured, and that sort of things. And outbursts of firefights in the streets. We had to hit the ground multiple times, and waiting for the fight to pass over. And for me, it was normalcy. It was normal. It wasn't like, oh my God, this is terrible. It was like, that's life. That's how it is. And because we were hearing stories from other countries nearby, Ghana, and Ghana was actually pretty cool. But Benin, East Africa, and turmoil. Always been, turmoil everywhere all the time. So it was normal. Is that a fish? No, it's not. And one night, the military stormed our house. They arrested my mom. They also stormed my uncle's house. They arrested him. And they, for 5 months, I didn't know if, they were alive, if I would see them again at some point. My aunt took care of us during that time. And yeah, so 5 months, she brought us to the prison, and we could actually visit my mom. And that was it. It took another couple of months. Like she spent 11 months in jail under charge of terrorism, treason, whatever. The government wanted to pin on her just for being a dissident, like a political dissident, to have her own opinion and to be vocal about it. So from here, she knew our name was kind of tinted, like nobody would hire her. We were like radioactive material. So she decided to leave the country and try to make a life somewhere else. So she contacted the Red Cross, asked for a refugee status, which she got, and it took us almost 3 years to get into Canada. Arriving in Canada, so I entered Canada as a refugee. Arriving in Canada, our hotel, when we arrived, the government put you in a hotel before you actually find a place to live. And we were, across our hotel was an outdoor store called La Tulipe. It's still here, same place. Today the hotel, I don't think it's still there, but anyway, the outdoor store is still there. I've been there. And entering that store, and at that time I was 12 years old. I knew Canada was about, the great outdoor, and I couldn't wait to fish and explore here. And I found, like browsing the store, I found that rod and reel. I don't remember the brand, but it was $29.99. When we were living in Africa and visiting our family, saying goodbyes, people were actually, giving money for us to be kind, to be nice, for us to have safe travel, to buy things we wanted and stuff like that. So total, when I exchanged it, I had $30. Wow, that's what my mom gave me anyway. And at the store, the rod combo was $29.99. I was like, yeah, I can afford it. So it's all I had right in my pocket. So I took the rod, went to the cashier, and the cashier asked for like 30 something. I don't remember precisely, but it was like $33, let's say. I was like, yeah, but it says $29.99. I was like, yeah, but you have to pay the taxes. I was like, okay, I didn't understand, how things were, right? Like, because the advertised price here in Canada, this is not what you pay. You have to go to the cashier, and then they added the taxes, and then you have that new amount, which is obviously always higher, that you have to pay. Let me cast over there next. And the guy looked at the rod, look at me, and I think he saw something in my eyes. I don't know, but he took pity, and he told me, all right, you can take it, you can go for $29.99. He took my $30, and I was like, is that a fish or I'm hooked? No, I'm hooked. Fuck. And so he let me out. I was like, oh my god, oh, thank you so much. And he was like, you're welcome. In French, it sounds like this. Oh, merci beaucoup. Bienvenue. He answered, bienvenue. And bienvenue in French, actually it's where I'm from, in France or in Africa. Bienvenue is when you're welcoming someone. Not like in English. In English, it's customary to say you're welcome to someone that says thank you. But from my perspective, it was like awkward, because usually the proper answer to thank you is, oh, it's nothing, merci, oh, de rien. And let me guess here. And then he was like, no, and I was like, how does he know that I'm just arrived? Is it that obvious? It was, but anyway, that was just a small anecdote on the cultural difference that was awaiting us. And that's how I got my first reel, and the hardest was behind. This was November '88. And I waited until spring to actually, try that rod, because they're not fishing winter. And 30 something years later, here I am in the middle of Quebec, fishing and telling you my story. So I hope you enjoyed this video. Thank you so much for sticking to the end. If you want more content like this, let me know, try to be a bit more personal, not just teaching stuff. But thumbs up, share, subscribe, you know the drill. And I'll see you in the next video. See you folks, be safe out there. Bye bye.